Springfield's Bishop Thomas Paprocki is reiterating Senator Dick Durbin should be denied Holy Communion because of his support for abortion. We turn to our expert panel to discuss. Dr. Matthew Bunson is a historian, theologian, and senior contributor to EWTN. Mary Rice Hasson is the director of the Catholic Women's Forum at the Ethics and Public Policy Center. Thank you both for being back and joining us for this.
Great to be with you.
Matthew, in his statement, Bishop Paprocki raised the issue of Canon 915 of the Catholic Church's Code of Canon Law.
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
Well, what we're talking about is one little code, one little canon in an entire book of church law, and it focuses on the worthiness of receiving the sacrament. But it's really targeted at those who receive the sacrament unworthily, but especially those who give the sacrament. They have an obligation, in the case of this canon, to look out for those who have been excommunicated, who are under interdict, but more to the point in Bishop Paprocki's case, in looking at those who are obdurate in sin, who are manifest, in other words, public in their sin, and also who are unwilling to reform, but who also could be the source of scandal to those in the church. And the sin, of course, has to be very grave. The three components, though, that Bishop Paprocki is really focusing on. The first is the fact that we have to protect the sacrament, that the Eucharist is the heart and center of our life. The other is that the sacrament itself has to be received worthily, but then it can also be the cause of potential scandal, or another way of putting it, confusion to the faithful.
Mary, what should we expect from our public lawmakers who self-identify as Catholic?
Well, first of all, lawmakers are conscious of the fact that law helps to form people, helps to shape their understanding. So someone who's a Catholic lawmaker has to keep that in mind, and they need to first form themselves, form their conscience, educate themselves, so that they can make moral and prudential judgments that are true and that will help form the people who are going to be following the laws.
And speaking of prudential judgment, Matthew, is there any room for prudential judgment when it comes to voting on the issue of abortion?
Well, we hear all the time that abortion is somehow subject to prudential judgments. When we talk about a prudential judgment, we're talking about is applying moral principles to a complex situation in our life or in the world. The Church has been very clear from the very beginning, you can go all the way back to the Didache and before that, that abortion, euthanasia, are two of those things that really fall under what are acts that are intrinsically evil. In other words, the Church cannot be clearer that it's not simply subject to a prudential judgment to what's the best policy. This is manifestly wrong.
Mary, Bishop Paprocki says he hopes his move will bring about a change of heart for Senator Durbin. Why is that such a key part of all of this?
Because as Dr. Bunson was explaining, I mean, the Church takes public actions like this because they're concerned about the person who's persisting in manifest sin. They're concerned also about those who look to that person as a leader and who will be following them. So the bishop is a good bishop. He's worried about the soul of all of his people, but particularly about this particular legislator. And he's saying, take this seriously. Think really carefully about the effect of your vote, because this is such a grave situation.
Senator Durbin was one of 14 Catholic senators who voted against the pain-capable bill. Do you think we'll see other bishops follow Bishop Paprocki's action?
My sense is this, that any bishop in this situation, working with these legislators, is first going to speak to them privately, and they're going to try to resolve things and try to educate them, try to move their hearts. And failing that, there may be some others who feel like the situation warrants it.
Yeah, the bishops themselves, as shepherds, have that duty to speak to our Catholic politicians, to remind them of their obligations as Catholics, but especially the state of their soul, that what they're participating in is something that's intrinsically evil.
Dr. Matthew Bunson, Mary Rice Hasson, thanks again for joining us for this complex topic and bringing clarity to it. Thank you.
Great to be with you.